Nick Darr here, getting ready to shoot another episode of Business Over Brew, which wouldn't be possible if not for our great sponsors at Roberts Motors. You know the Roberts Motors name, they've been around since 1949. Definitely a name that means quality. We certainly appreciate their support of not only this show, but all they do for the community. You talk about a local business that gets it in terms of supporting great community causes and just being involved in the community. The guys at Roberts Motors, Sam, John, the rest of the crew there, they really understand what it means to be a good business citizen in the community, and they've done that for a lot of years. If you're in the market for a vehicle, you know the car industry has been a little upside down lately in terms of inventory. They're starting to get more and more vehicles on the lot. Starting to see some new Broncos out there, so go check that out. A little more pre-owned inventory as well. They're certainly always in the market to give you a great deal if you're looking to sell your vehicle as well. Now's a great time to do that. And maybe something we don't talk about enough is just a really great top-notch service center at Roberts Motors. If you need work done to your car, you need tires, oil change, any kind of service work, Roberts Motors is really a terrific place to consider. And they would just appreciate the opportunity to do business with you, whether it's buying a vehicle, buying your vehicle from you, or getting some work done to your vehicle. Check out Roberts Motors on Albee Street in Alton or at robertsmotors.com. Welcome to another edition of Business Over Brew. We talk with business owners, influential business people of all sorts on this particular program. And today we've got a relatively new business owner, Jen Kinney, with JK Renewals Outdoor Emporium. Jen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. First of all, just your background, where you grew up.
I grew up in the Alton area. I worked in corporate travel for almost 25 years until COVID took my job, and we got here.
So tell us a little bit about the business, and just we'll give people a little bit of a baseline of what you guys do there.
So we started just in the house, touching up concrete. People would bring me their yard ornaments and ask me to just, kind of touch them up, refresh them. That's how we came with the name Renewal. So we were renewing people's concrete. My husband also, in October of last year, lost his job due to COVID. So he said, well, if you're going to do it, I might as well jump in. And he started pouring the concrete. So we poured it in the garage and we painted it at the downstairs bar. And next thing you know, we were pouring it for nurseries, the plant stand, Henley's, Pearson, and kind of just took off from there.
So 25 plus years in the corporate world. Was starting a business something that was always in the back of your mind, or something you always had an itch to do? Not at all.
No, my husband always kind of dabbled like, oh, we should own our own business. No idea what or, where even to start. And then when you're forced to do it, you just wake up one day and you're in business.
It seems like, before it's kind of romantic when you think about owning your own business, and hey, that seems really cool, but it's sometimes a different story.
It's tough. We go from you go to his, or he goes to his shift, I go to my shift, and now we're together 24/7. So we make it work. He's out in the warehouse doing his thing, and I'm in the paint room doing mine.
So had outdoor kind of always been a hobby for you guys?
Yeah. We always decorated the yard. We had crazy critters, and we put a pool in, and just he loves to golf. My daughter golfs, so we're just outdoor people.
So that was kind of a natural fit from the type of business to start anyway, in terms of the outdoor side of things. So talk a little bit about what you learned in the corporate world that you've been able to bring to your small business and incorporate.
Well, obviously the books, how to do the financials and everything.
Right.
A really good friend of mine, she's going to see this and laugh because she always did my financials for me. So, but I learned from her. And then just being able to sit here and talk to you. I had to talk to major corporations all the time, every day. So it was a little intimidating coming back into it today. Right.
It's challenging talking to me, I've been told. So, but that's interesting that you bring that up, the finances of it and just the numbers of it, because it's kind of the minutia that you find a lot of business owners don't like to do.
Right.
But it's such a important part of it because it's such a roadmap to see where you are, where you're going, and if you're doing well. Or it's amazing how many business owners have no idea how much is coming in, how much is going out.
Right. I mean, it's just more than just like it was a hobby. I sat down and I painted as a hobby.
Right.
Now you take your hobby and it's your profession, and there's a lot more to it. The taxes and the receipts, and I have to have all of that information at the end of the month. It drives my husband crazy, but it is what it is because he's not used to doing that either. We were both used to just, leaving and going to work and coming back. Now it's, everything counts. Every penny actually earned, I have to report. So.
Right, and whether you're a business owner or say a commissioned salesperson, it's such a different world than knowing exactly what your check amount's going to be every month.
Yeah, that's scary.
Right.
And it's hard to try to translate that into, like my family, how are you doing? Are you running your own business? It's just because we don't go to a corporation, we are a corporation now, and that's where we get our paycheck and that sort of thing. It's just you have to think about it a little different now.
Talk about the progression from starting in your home is where the business, where you started the business, to now you have a location. What transpired there to where you thought we've got to do something different?
Well, my daughter got really tired of tripping over concrete, leaving the house for school. So we actually started in pouring in the garage, and then it would move in. You had to set it, to set up. So John would use the kitchen. And then when it got warmer, we were out on the back porch, and then the business got bigger. So we went to the front porch. And then I said, finally, we were just like, we've got to be able to separate home and business, because now that we're together 24/7, let's at least get the house back to where we need to be. So that's where we started, and we got the warehouse in May.
Talk about the process of finding, buying, or getting into the new location.
I was actually at the CVS drive-through picking up a prescription, not for mental health, but I think I'm going to need
now
one.
that's what you
now
need,
I'm
right
going
now.
back to CVS, but I was waiting in line, and I was just looking at my phone, like, where can we go, where quickly? And I was at 3:30, I was in the line, and at 5:30 we were out looking at a warehouse, so out on Arms Way. And I think it was like 3 days later we signed a lease.
So pretty quick deal
Yes,
then. So,
very, very quick.
for those watching, listening, talk about where your location is, because it's a little bit off the beaten path.
It is. We're a little hidden back there, so if it's, I always tell people it's between the Godfrey Walmart and the Baker and Hales, and if you can find those two, we're right in the middle of it on Ingham, and then it's 620 Arms Way.
Talk about some of the products and services that you guys offer.
So we started with the ornamental concrete. So John pours it, and he paints it as well, and then I paint. And we don't have to pour it either. If you have something that you want touched up, we can do that as well. And then when we went to the retail side of it, when we went to the retail side in August, we obtained some more local vendors. And if they're not locally made, they are made in the USA. We pride ourselves on that. So we have Yardsie games and cornhole games and wind chimes and birdhouses. So we just kind of took that whole outdoor, and that's where the Outdoor Emporium comes in, and just put it into one spot.
Is it difficult to find products like that are made in the U.S.?
Yes, it is very difficult, unfortunately, and that's why I like to deal with the local vendors. So we did a lot of the farmers markets, and that's where we made a lot of our contacts, because they're just like us. They're just trying to start. A lot of people lost their jobs due to COVID, just like John and I. So I like to help them out a little bit too.
I would imagine you've cultivated some pretty good relationships in the short time you've been in
Good,
business.
yeah. If we don't know each other's names, we know each other's by face and product.
Right.
So, but they sell wholesale to us, and then we can retail it.
Talk about, we were talking before we turned the cameras on, just about the internet and being online. And it's obviously critical to the success of any business. Now talk about your website and where people can go to find you online.
You can find me at JK Renewals online. We also have a Facebook page, JK Renewals. I do a lot of posting. I try to advertise at least once a day, something going on or where we're going to be, if we're open, close, that sort of thing. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 4. And we're probably going to change those hours a little bit during the holidays, give people an opportunity to come after work, and on Sundays, that sort of thing.
Because it is certainly a bit of a seasonal business. What do you expect as you head into winter? What can you help people with as we go
the
into
winter time? If you have any local nurseries, we'll be happy to pour for and get those orders started.
Okay.
So this first year we were kind of behind the ball a little bit because we didn't have product. So we would take the ones and the twos pieces and we would get them out to the nurseries, and then we stock them up. Our goal is next year, as of March 1st, we'll have all that in the warehouse and be able to get them going. So they'll have 100 pieces if they want out on their shelves.
I know you've got something special coming up as we head into Veterans Day too here.
Yep, we have. So we sell the military stones. We have all 5 branches, and they are $35, and $5 of that sale goes to the organization TAPS. And TAPS is a tragedy assistance program for survivors. So it's if they've lost a troop, unfortunately, they have this organization they can go to and get grief counseling and just help through the process of pretty much of getting their loved one home, and then what happens next. Because we see I'm not taking away from the veterans. I am a huge fan of the veterans, but once you don't see them on TV and the funerals are over, what happens to the families? Mm-hmm. And that's where John and I really wanted to focus on is it doesn't stop. The grieving doesn't stop.
Sure.
So we do that for that. And we made our first donation in September. We were able to do $25. So we're on our way.
It's amazing that you've been open, literally months, and already have found a way to. It's so many business owners seem to have that heart for giving, in addition to, obviously all the things that come with running a business too.
I wasn't a military brat, as they call it, but all of my family was in the service, and I had to bring the Navy today to shout out for my mom and dad, so we're both in the Navy. But I have a family member in each branch, or had one, so that's why we make sure we carry all 5 of the branches.
Cool, very cool that you guys are involved. But I know your husband John, he's the girls golf coach at Alton High too. So he's
a very busy man.
Right. Yeah. Concrete golf, I mean, it's tough to keep it
again, it's outdoors, so I won't let him sell golf clubs just yet.
What have you learned in the last couple of months that it really has been a surprise to you in terms of being in business for yourself that maybe you didn't expect when you opened the doors?
I think you go back to the saying is, if you love your work, you'll never work a day in your life. That is not true. We work harder and longer than we ever have, but it's something that we do enjoy. And I think that's what I've really come to enjoy about it and come to find out about it. It is very hard to start your own business. It's very hard to make the contacts and that sort of thing. It's very hard working 24/7 with your spouse, but we seem to make it work.
It's been a short time. You maybe haven't even really had time to sit and think about where you want to take the business in the next year or 3 years or 5 years. Do you have a vision for where it might go?
I mean, we kind of put a 3-year plan together. That's just because that's how long we signed the lease, and we're like, we'll give it 3 years, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll find something else. But for in 3 years, I hope to be wholesaling to a lot of plant stands or nurseries and be that kind of business. And then I want people to know, they want something for the yard. They want something fun. They want something that, or maybe a memory stone for a loved one that they've lost. They want something like that. They know to come to us, so they can get it all in one area.
If you could go back a few months and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be?
Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe it's hard to put into words, but maybe just organize a little bit better. Be prepared for the unexpected, if you can. I know that's kind of a cliche, but it's just learn as much as you can, as often as you can, would be my advice.
Yeah, there are so many. It's probably why there's been thousands, millions of books written about how you do business. One reason is because it's hard. It's a difficult puzzle to crack, and there's.
But I think that there are a million books out there, but it's like you do you. Do what's right for you. Do what's right for your family. Do what's right for your checkbook. But always just I believe if you stay true to yourself, then it will work out. Don't shoot for the moon. I could sit here and say my 3-year plan is to be a millionaire. Well, I think everybody's 3-year plan is to be a millionaire. Yeah. But right now we're just trying to expand that business and find out where have people find out where we're located and just get our name out there.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on Business Over Brew. One last to just wrap it up with a quick plug for the business and where people can find you.
Come see me at JK Renewals. We're at 620 Arms Way in Godfrey, and we're open 9 to 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Jen Kenny, JK Renewals, thanks so much for being on the show. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. That just got loud.